Okay, so hopefully that last video made sense to you in terms of what we were going to do before we started our paragraph. And I don't think I have a whole lot to say about these other directions. Writing a rough draft is just getting your ideas down on paper. I have an outline example of the paragraph that I wrote that we'll get over to. For the revise and editing stage, I just had one really big thing at this point in your editing your English career in grade 6. Thing, the only big thing I think that is super helpful is to make sure that when you're editing that you read your paper out loud. You'd be surprised how many weird sentences and grammar mistakes and things that don't make sense that you can pick up just by reading it aloud. And I edit papers for university students. I edit papers for high school students. I edited a paper for my mom. And I recommend that advice to anybody. Reading your paper out loud helps you so much. Okay, so that's the editing bit. And now I'm going to take you down to one of the example paragraphs here. And the reason why we're going to look at one of these is because I'm going to show you a very basic formulaic example, which is this one here. So this is, you've met the requirements. And then the paragraph that I've written, I've tried to write in a way that would be an example of something that would be going beyond, which would get you your extending. Okay, so the purple up here I've highlighted, that's the intro. The green is the points of research. So that's the things we were looking at, these sentences here. So all the things I've highlighted in green are going to be these things here. Then the things that I've highlighted in yellow, that's the so what questions that we were talking about earlier. And then the ones that are in blue are the how questions. So the examples, and the yellow is the explanation. So you can read through this. I won't take the time to read through it all. Pause the video, look through, see if you agree with the way that I've highlighted it, see if you can see what I'm talking about. Almost every sentence here begins with he. I think that is something that probably you could improve on, and you'll see it I've done differently in mine. So take a minute to look through this, compare it. Maybe if you've already written yours, compare it to what you have, and I will see you in 1 second to go over to mine. Okay, so at the top here, here down, this is my outline here. So these are the 9 points that were at the beginning that we were looking at, and I've just organized them in just point form memo outline so that I could record the information when I was researching and then incorporate it into my paragraph after. And I've tried to make it really easy here, and I've highlighted in the exact same colors as I did over here. So purple is my intro, green is my points, yellow is my so whats, and blue is my how. So let's read through this. The Czechoslovakian Wolfhound is an exceptionally intelligent, protective, and practical breed of dog. It is a large dog, standing 2 feet tall at a minimum, meaning it will need lots of exercise and a firm grip on the leash. Because of its size, the Czechoslovakian Wolfhound requires a large property to live on, such as a farm or acreage. This dog is remarkably easy to train and has been used in Europe and the United States since the 1960s as a military, police, and border security canine. The Wolfhound only sheds twice a year seasonally, making it wonderful to have around furniture. Feeding your Wolfhound depends on the temperament and age of your specific animal, but the real point of interest is that it requires a raw diet, potentially making it more expensive to take care of. Another nice feature of this breed is that it rarely barks. The only time it does is when it's trained to or when it feels deeply threatened, and often frightens other dogs with its silence. The Czechoslovakian Wolfhound can get along very well with kids as an adult. However, there needs to be significant training in its adolescent years to curb its potentially aggressive nature. One site describes it as a typical tenacious canterer. Its movement is light and harmonious, which just means it lopes like a wolf. So you can see how that flows a lot better than something like, he is a very small breed of dog. He does shed, but not excessively. He loves physical contact and affection. He takes a while. So what I've tried to do here is mix up the sentence starters. I've used it, I've used this breed, this dog, I've used Czechoslovakian Wolfhound, I've used this Wolfhound. I've tried to, if I can, sometimes blend my points together or transition them, like here I talk about the size, and then I relate my second point as how much space it needs to its size. I also talk about the training ability being here for the military, police, and border security, as also being for being trained to bark.